My name is Savannah, and my personal philosophy is that you're never too old to learn.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne, and my philosophy is you learn something new every day.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and my philosophy is that you learn best by doing.
Okay, so for my personal philosophy, the reason I kind of chose to do this one was based on my personal experience as a learner. So I'm still in school learning as an adult. And one of my main inspirations for this kind of philosophy for me to live by is that my goal is to get a PhD, but my grandma got hers when she was in her 60s, and ever since I knew that she was much older and she got it, it kind of just created that mental philosophy of you're never too old to learn. So I kind of relate to that on a personal level, just because I probably will be a lot older when I actually do succeed my lifelong goal. But as long as I just keep living by this, then I think I'll be successful. And then relating this philosophy to who I am as a learner, but also as an educator, because since we're all ACEs here, we do have that educator role. I think that in regards of like who should control the learning, I think the educator should be the facilitator, and that the learner is responsible for applying themselves and taking initiative to learn what is being taught to them. For me, like I said, I have a goal, and I think adult learners in general are very goal oriented, and they bring different life experience and knowledge to the table. So the educators should be responsible for setting structures and providing like resources, but the learners should have control over their own goals, the pace of the learning, and like the methods of which they choose to engage in the learning. And I think this really aligns with andragogy, especially Knowles's principles that emphasizes self-direction, readiness to learn, and that learning is grounded in real life experiences. I really think that adult learners are self-directed learners. Um, and then based off of like how it should be grounded in real life experiences, I think that experiences should be in the promotion of self-direction. So I'm sure you guys can relate to this, whereas like ECEs, we take off of the interests of the child, and that's how like I plan my learning experiences, and that they're very child led. So I think to promote self-direction or self-learning in the within my you're never too old to learn philosophy, it's important to focus on the interests of the adult learner, and also understanding what motivates them and their experiences and goals that they're bringing into their learning.
So, my philosophy was you learn something new every day. I chose this philosophy because I really do believe you do learn something new every day, whether it's small in school or personal. I think, and it can be you're going to use it every day, or maybe you'll never use it again, and you're adding to your memory and your knowledge. So, my philosophy, I think it shapes the way it shapes mistakes and challenges. I think you're able to view mistakes or challenges and look and see where it went wrong or where you struggled, making mistakes and getting to reflect and then adjusting, and then you get to try again. When learning something about self interest, you're able to try again and change the way you process about it, and also taking what you're learning and realizing it's all part of the process and you can try again and do it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, how my mindset influences my personal or personal growth. For my philosophy, I think it influences your mindset or personal growth because you are learning and getting smarter. This can be job related, school related, or personal interests. And also, always being able to learn something new every day and being able to know more about certain topics or even random things that can help you more from your day to day. And my philosophy applies to my work and my daily life every day. We're all educators, and as an educator, always adapting to my students and their different needs, improving practice and keeping myself up to date on new things, modeling for the students and showing that I learn something new every day, even if it's something very small. in my daily life for my personal growth and learning new things that I enjoy or I'm curious about, and also building up my confidence and learning more about different things and having more knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. And my philosophy was that you learn best by doing. This really stems from when I was growing up. I was very tactile with my learning. I found it difficult to just read something and then understand what to do next. So I would physically like move things around to take in new math concepts, or I would to play a new game. I had to physically play tag. Somebody couldn't just explain it to me. I had to understand the steps involved. So I find that now I'm able to confidently say if I can do something independently, I have learned what to do and I can confidently say that I've learned that topic. And then moving forward as an educator with this, I like to set up the parameters of a learning experience, but allow the learner to make the mistakes that they need to make to gain that new skill. So, one of these is just sort of opening up a safety net for the learner and giving them the tools they need, but allowing free reign within that safety net so that they can have their own learning experience and they can learn what mistakes to make, what mistakes not to make as they move forward with the skill set. One thing as an educator that we should do prior to throwing somebody into something is conducting that needs assessment. Sometimes, if a young adult who's new to university wants to learn how to cook, you have to assess, well, what do they have access to? Do they have access to a stove? Do they have access to a fridge? Do they have access to a microwave? Before you offer recipes and support, you need to know what they can do at the beginning or what they
Yeah.
already have done prior. So, or and their goals. What do they, why do they want to learn how to cook? What is the baseline? Do they, maybe they don't have a meal plan, maybe it's just they have somebody else that they want to support. What is the purpose behind the learning? And that way we can really dive headfirst into how to support them. And then
Yeah.
this really goes to connect to both of yours with the self-directed learning, but also with experiential learning from Fenwick. So one of his ways was situative, and that's the art of practicing something and allowing the mistakes to happen in the moment and allowing yourself to be caught up in an experience to progress and to keep learning.
Yeah. Like you learn by doing, but you also learn by making mistakes as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And do you guys feel like what would be your, like, because we're all ECEs here, do you think that your personal learning experience has affected you as an educator or like supports you as a ECE? Like, I know for me, I definitely think that when you're never too old to learn, everyone learns differently. So it's important to take into consideration like how an adult learns, but also like how each child learns. And I think experience plays a big role in that. So even if you're 5 years old, you still have different experiences. For example, if you are new to Canada, you might not be like super successful in learning English easily, and it might be harder for you then to learn other aspects in like your life. And then same with adults, if they don't have experience in one thing but they have it in a lot of other things, then you have to kind of adapt how you're teaching them.
I think
Yeah.
you summed it up really well with that. Like you do need to go with what does the student have first and build from
Mhm.
that rather than trying to start from baseline. Might already have that baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cheyenne, do you, I think like for me, do you guys feel like your philosophy connects to other people? I feel like we're so similar mindsets on our stuff. But like I know for me, I think that you're never too old to learn. It's super basic in its sentence. Like you can learn how to cook, how to use your phone academically. So I think it kind of connects to anyone.
Yes, yeah, I agree too. I do think my philosophy that you truly do learn something every day, whether it's in school or personal interests. Everyone learn something new every day, even if they're not trying to. It can be personal, like wanting to learn more about garden or cooking, like Lauren said, or it can be something that you need to learn, like changing a tire or something. Like I do think whether you want to or not, you generally do learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think just like put yourself in their shoes and try and soak up the information whenever you can. and you're in charge of your own learning. It's very self-directed, I think, the three of us, where it's like they are in charge of what they want to go to next.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that sums it up.
Yeah. That was a great chat. It was nice hearing from you guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you as
too.
well.
Okay. Bye.